Alright. Hello, hello. So I got in. I had a delayed start, so I couldn't log in right away. And our server is pretty full. But we're here, so now we're going to go back to where we were. And where was that? I think it was there. I think we left off here at Many Fires. So basically we've helped out the HanuHanu, and then we went on to our next excursion, which brought us upriver, and then we had to find a way around an obstacle, which ended up being the level 91 dungeon. And then coming out of the dungeon, we were able to basically end up at this port right down here, Dock Tumu, and then we had a nice little campfire chat and session, and the MSQ left us off at level 92 quests. So we are now level 92, and I got to 92 on Darknight, Summoner, and Pictomancer, so I can switch between all of them. Did a few other things off stream, so gathering and all that. But without further ado, we are going to start on MSQ. Just double checking everything, make sure it's all working. Okay, it looks like it. Let's test a command here. Okay. Excellent. It is working. Okay, so let's go right into it. I believe I can't remember if I talked to all of them before, so let's get to it. No. I have some small experience with the pressures of leadership and crumbling beneath its weight. As you well know, if anything good can be said to have comfy of my failures, I hope it is my capacity to help others avoid similar mistakes. Very humble. Alize, it doesn't matter if Llamahat's scared of alpacas or gets sick on boats, it doesn't change who she is or what she means to people. I'm ready to move on. Alright. Oh, and Kryl. Under someone's chocobo there. I'm glad we could take a moment to talk things through. Llamahat seems much happier for it. Indeed. Right. So, here we go. The Moblin settlement of Earthenshire is not far from here, but be warned, the road we'll be taking is a favorite hunting ground for bandits. With the stairs currently impassable, there'll be fewer travelers, meaning the brigands will be desperate for victims to ambush. Although considering present company, I suppose my concern is unwarranted. Bandits on the road? What have Seralja and the Landsguard been doing? Seems it's up to me to restore order to the area. Oh, there she goes. And off she goes again. For now, we'll head west and aim for the bank of the second river. Alright, sounds good. I also got the riding map for this area, for these two areas, so we should be able to go a lot faster. And I uncovered the entire map as well. I was doing a lot of fishing. As you can see, my fisher is level 95. Almost 96. And for the most part, I was just gathering like each of the fish that I could get that aren't locked behind a book or time. So, yeah. Alright. Oh, those guys are kind of freaky looking. Widowmaker. Alright, Kryl? Oh, I see. This is the river which feeds the waterfalls above HanuHanu. The bandit's lair is said to be somewhere near here, but I prefer we avoid seeking out trouble. Again and again I am struck by the majesty of the falls. It is difficult to comprehend the sheer volume of water this natural wonder produces. I felt eyes on us several times as we made our way here, though they soon seemed to lose interest. Maybe perhaps we're too big a group? Well, where are these bandits? Apparently they're not foolish enough to attack a party of this size. Earthenshire is just a little farther ahead, on the opposite bank of Miyakabek Zoma. But let's remain vigilant all the same. Bird of Ligaka. They cool. They kind of look similar to some of the birds of paradise that one of the bird photographers I follow photographs in the Amazon. Oh. I don't know if this is like intentionally built this way or it looks damaged. As if like this was a much bigger building at one point in time. But we're here, Earthenshire. I think this is the goblin, yeah, town. Or maybe they call them something else. Not another claimant in sight. Does that mean we're ahead or behind? Even as HanuHanu culture is distinct from the Vanu, Moblin society has developed quite differently to that of their goblin cousins. Goodness me, it's like the entire village is made of pottery. So this is Earthenshire. Is it the village where the lay of pots from the Tuliolo saga took place? Earthenshire. Idleshire. Might this similarity be a cultural inclination, I wonder? The settlements themselves couldn't be more different though. This shire appears custom built to resemble pots, while the others is a repurposed town. Welcome to Earthenshire. Do I have the pleasure of happy greeting the third promise and her retinue? That's us. We're looking for the Dawnservant Selector, if you happen to know who that is. You are exchanging tongue flaps with her right now. Redacted is the elector you seek. Oh, that's helpful. We can cut straight to performing the feats. As much as Redacted would like to do just that, we have a much more pressing worry. The storm which hit our village shattered the cliffs and dropped rocks on our brain cases. Many Helphands for the post-worn were injured. There is no time for feats or medal tests. I'm sorry to hear that. After learning what the storm did to the stairs, I feared you'd been caught in its path. Not to change the subject, but what are the post-worn? Potsworn. Sorry. Goldsmiths contracted to work for the Moblins. The word comes from the pot-like workshops where they practice their craft. The Moblins provide these potsworn with tools, materials, living quarters, everything the artisans could possibly need. This allows them to concentrate on producing what is widely known as the finest gold and metalwork in Tyrol. This is unacceptable. I was promised no distractions. If this is the best I can offer, I should have never left Waku Meki Meki. You see, the Potsworn desert us. Without enough healthy Helphands, we are failing to uphold our side of the Pot Pact. Did all our Potsworn leave, Earthenshire will grind to a halt. We have to do something, and do it soon. Then let us stand in for the injured helpers. It would give me the chance to learn more about your people and your village, and if it brings us closer to beginning the feat, then all the better. This isn't strictly part of the contest, so don't feel obligated to join in. Take a rest while you can. Of course I'll help. I was hoping you'd say that. I actually wasn't sure I could do this on my own. Well, I'll help. I doubt any of us could just sit around and watch. We'll take every Helphand we can get. Redacted truth swears that once the Potsworn have their perfect workshops again, we will commence the feat with all haste. You and the third promise can assist Helphand Rock. Right? You other four, follow Redacted. There are other Helphands in need of hand lending. I really appreciate you pitching in. I meant what I said at many fires. There'll be no more feigning strength, no more playing at being an invincible promise. If there's one thing I've learned on this journey, it's how practiced you are at aiding those in need. And I mean to make the most of having such an incredible mentor at my side. Now let's find this Rakarok fellow and see what we can do for him. Alright, looks like they're in this building. Oh, just outside. Can we go inside? Ooh, we can. The work pots. Okay. We'll probably be taking a look more into that later. Rock can't meet his obligations without more Helphands. The pot pack is broken and the pots are emptying. You've come to aid Rakarok? Rakarok accepts your hand lending with joyous feel smiles. If we can offer the Potsworn their promised good living, we might save the day yet. Whatever you need. First we'll solve this problem for the Moblins, then we'll see about completing their feats. What Rock needs is for new Helphands to create good living for Potsworn Kai. The Helphand assigned to Kahi was hurt during the rock rain, so Rock took over, but he knows nothing of Kahi. Or maybe it's Kaahi? Not sure. What does Kahi want? What does Kahi need? Helphands do not bother the Potsworn with straight tasks. Our job is to observe and anticipate, to prepare things with guest think. Please, guest think with Rock. Find out what Kahi is lacking so we can provide it. You can count on us. Kahi is only one of many Potsworn in need of caretaking. We work through the night with no sleep and no rest, but there are too few of us to go around. It was quite the storm that came through. This is where Kahi works, is it? Take a peek aside then. That must be Kahi. It'd be a lot quicker if we could just talk to him, but that's not the way they do things around here, apparently. We'll have to leave him be and try our hand at some guessing. Well, it looks like he's too hot. We'll inspect further. Well, he has no shortage of crafting materials. There must be something else he's missing. Those tools are looking pretty worn down. Maybe it's time for some new ones? He must be boiling sitting so close to the furnace, and there's no airflow to speak of. How could anyone work in that stifling heat? Oh, food. He's barely touched his meal. That dish is meant to be eaten hot, or it loses its savor. Alright, after making a good look, I think I have an idea of what things Kahi might want to improve his working conditions. Let's head back outside and talk to Rock. Come on, let's share what we observed. Cool. You made your observations. What did you guess think? First off, I noticed Kahi hasn't touched his food, and an empty belly can't be good for his concentration. Maybe the cooking isn't to his liking? But our food is very mouth-pleasing. Why wouldn't he want to eat it? But Rock is sure of nothing when it comes to Kahi's taste. Can help you with that. My brother Kona is also Hetsaro, and while everyone has their personal preferences, there are some they tend to share. Like an aversion to piping hot dishes. If it was brought to him like that, Kahi probably wouldn't have been able to eat until it cooled down, and by the time he came back to it, he might have found it cold and unappetizing. The simplest solution is to serve dishes that taste good no matter the temperature. Rock never would have thought of that. Would the third promise mind explaining these things to our cook? Not at all, but I don't think that was the only reason Kahi couldn't concentrate. Hetsaro Homelands is hot and dry, but even Kahi seemed to be suffering in front of that furnace. Is there any way you could cool down the workshop? Oh, we could try a drafty shard. They make a lovely breeze. Do you know where we can get one of those? You can gather them from the shoals of no return. There are many old boats there abandoned by those who gave up on their search for the Golden City. So we salvage them from the wrecks. Could you handle that for us? Yep. Oh, and one more thing. From what I could tell, Kahi's files and saws and things were very worn down. Maybe a new set of tools is in order? Ah, Rakarok was too preoccupied with stocking materials, a serious oversight, which he will rectify. Supplying good tools for good living is a Helphand's responsibility. We all have work to do. We can meet back here when our tasks are done. The shoals of no return are past the crags. Through a tunnel southeast of here, you should be able to spot the passage from just outside the village. Alright. So there's the crags. Oh, look who it is. You're Rohi, aren't you? What brings you out here? You know, just doing some stuff. Ah, the issue with caring for the potsworn. When they approached me with that same problem, I suggested they commission artisans in Charlian instead. The quality of craftsmanship would be guaranteed, after all. However, the Moblins did not care for the idea. Surely it would be more effective to engage a uniformly trained collective. I cannot understand their fixation on individual contracts. Perhaps the custom will make more sense once we begin the feat of pots. Until then, we've been deemed unfit to assist in the matter of Helphands, and are instead tasked with tending the injured. We were on our way back from procuring herbs from Urianger, in fact. Settlements in Kozamauka too have been isolated by the storm's destruction. What would have become of the wounded had we not found a way here? Did I become Dawnservant? One of my first acts will be to establish reliable trade routes to the capital, when I imagine how much good we can achieve with Charlian technology. My apologies, I have much to consider. If you'll excuse us. We'll meet again soon, I'm sure. Take care. Here's the cave. There's the wrecked boats that they were talking about. Ooh, a fiery orange crystal. I don't think that's it. You said a wind one, so it's probably green. Yeah. Pale blue. Bright green, that's wind. Awesome, got it. Oh, is that a cool breeze Ruckarok feels? The brisk breeze emanating from this wind crystal can be used to fill sails or cool, stuffy workshops. Well, that's neat. I didn't know it could help with boats. In that way, that is. Yes, thank you for seek finding a drafty shard. Ruckarok will add it to the new set of tools he brought. And I come bearing good food tidings. The cook has prepared a feast fit for the most discerning Hetsaro, and it's on its way even as we speak. Let's go and see what Kahi thinks of our efforts. I was wondering what occasion called for me to receive so many visitors. A fine meal, new tools, and a welcome source of cool air. Now I remember why I signed a pot pact. I am grateful for your kind considerations. Allow me a moment or two, and I'll reciprocate with a peace worthy of a potsworn. An oil lamp to brighten the halls of Volok Shunsa. The craftsmanship satisfies Earthenshire's reputation for quality, I trust. Oh, such luster, such brilliance. Truly a gift fit for the Dawnservant. I'm glad you like it. Considering the time I've wasted till now, I hope to continue crafting at this improved pace. I have a contract to fulfill after all. Forgive my interruption. Llamahat, I am told the Elector has deemed the crisis past and is prepared to task us with the feat. That's great news. Thank you for letting me know. Though this is the craft of a potsworn, it is indeed a masterful piece. Thank you for your words of praise, Second Promise. I drew inspiration from Kozama Uka's natural beauty and sought to capture it in my work. I wondered why the Moblins did not simply build a workshop in the city, and now I have my answer. Even Charlian's goldsmiths cannot easily replicate such exquisite artistry. Hey Lou, how's it going? One cannot create great things if one lacks creative impetus. Tuliolo, fortunately, does not want for inspiration. Anyone wishing to learn the basics of a craft would do well to study it there. I was raised among Hetsaro, more traditional than most, and the shared ingenuity of Tyrell's various peoples was eye-opening. You lived as a traditional Hetsaro? I have few fond memories of nomadic life. You good? I am good as well. Doing more Dawntrail. So this is definitely spoiler territory for you. But yeah, just going through level 92 MSQ. You hit 500 today? What's 500? I tried a serving of the dish we prepared for Kahi. It was so good I had a second helping. But that I could forget that time. Now my workspace is just the way I like it. I have inspiration oozing from every pore. Think that lantern was nice? Just wait until my next masterpiece. Oh, they gave him burritos, it looks like, or wraps. 500 subs? Oh, awesome. That's really good. Really good. Cool. Rock is very grateful to you. I thank you for both your hard work and clever guessing. When it comes to help-handing, knowing the potsworn really is important. Well, that's true for pretty much everyone you meet. It's a lesson I've had drummed into me several times already on this journey. Rock will see that Potsworn Kahi's luscious oil lamp is delivered to the palace at once. Of pots. The elector bids the claimants assemble in the large building on the west side of the village. I will head over after finding Thancred and Urianger. I also ran into the Lavalier twins on the way here. I took the liberty of directing them to the venue. We're rivals. It's not his job to make sure I know the feat is starting, but even now he's conscientious to a fault. Anyway, let's not keep Redrock raiding. Playing some Valorant and you got a bunch of people trying? That's awesome. Really nice when you get like multiple people going. I've just been like talking to myself basically. Well, doing MSQ, so. I thought everyone would be here by now. Cool. Redrock thanks you for assisting Helphand Rockarock. She will announce the feat once the other claimants arrive, so please be patient a little while longer. I'm happy to report that we were able to convince one of the potsworn to stay. How did you fare? Well, we just helped them out. So you managed to do the same. Splendid. Cool. Welcome to the Earthenshire. First promise, we support your plans for salt crossings and the new potsworn they will bring. Hail the mighty Zoral Jah. He cleared many piles of rockfall as if they were pebblestones, the resilient sun for Dawnservants. Zoral Jah was clearing fallen rocks. I'm surprised he would volunteer his time for anything unrelated to the contest. Well, we meet again. Just in time for the feat to begin. I'll bet he was already here, laying low while the rest of us did all the work. Cool. Claimants, your attention please. As Redrock has explained, many of our potsworn left us following the storm. The precious metalwork crafted by those artisans bring in much jingly shine from across the salt. Should our stream of trade's goods dry up, Earthenshire will suffer. Tuliol merchants will suffer. So Ready Rock sets you this feat. Each of you are to find one clever hand goldsmith to bring back here to us. So we're to recruit new pot swarm? Makes sense for the feat of pots. Calling this a feat does not justify taking advantage of the claimants and their influence. How does finding workers for you demonstrate their worthiness for the throne? You are free to refuse Redorok's request. She will be happy to inform the Dawnservant of Zeralja's disqualification. The right is a means to an end. The steps we take to get there are not important. Wow. Then Redorok declares the feat of pots begun. But remember, a pot pact must be agreed to willingly. No grab snatching or deceitful tongue flaps. The Elector said nothing of taking a willing artisan from a rival. Which is exactly what we should do. Guy. Fine suggestion, brother. I'm glad you think so, brother. Come, let us play our plans. That nasty brute is up to something. Aye, he may seek to delay us again as he did on the river. We can but remain vigilant while we plot our course. What do you think, Llamahat? Have you any candidates in mind to satisfy this feat? I know some artisans amongst my supporters, but they're all in their twilight years. I couldn't ask them to give up the comforts of Tuliolo to live in this remote village, no matter how beautiful the scenery. Meanwhile, Kona probably has 100 young craftspeople to choose from. Not that I'm comparing us, you understand, that's just statement of fact. I suppose we could try asking around Wachumeki. That seems a logical place to start. Back to Tuliolo it is. Wait, does that mean we have to take the boat again? No, I can't do it. I can't stomach another boat ride. You said I should share my burdens, so I will speak plainly. Truth is, I get really, really sick on boats. We know. Llamahat, this is hardly news. But it was brave of you to admit. In any case, we won't be fighting the current this time. Heading downriver will be much smoother. At will? Are you sure? Those eyes just crying. I'm positive, mostly. Haven't played much recently. Been doing Valorant and Risk of Rain 2. Nice. My friends play Risk of Rain 2. They have a lot of fun playing that. So... yeah, and the butter wobbles around too. And it'll never fall off. Perfectly balanced. What obstacle will Cool Jaja throw at us next? Or will he try something more direct? Did we mention the potsworn in our care required a constant stream of encouragement in order to craft? The four of us must have chanted the same cheer dozens, if not hundreds of times. Annabelle was scolded more than once for not cheering loudly enough. Llamahat suffers such terrible bouts of seasickness. I wish I had a spell or potion that could ease her nausea. I've procured many unusual items for clients, but meeting the personalized needs of a potsworn is not an experience I'd care to repeat. What are you cooking for dinner tonight? Look, I need a moment. Upriver or downriver? Iakatumu is too rough for me. That's a hard word to say. The nausea is a bit more bearable now that I've stopped trying to hide it, but I'd still rather not set foot on a boat if I can help it. Alright, I think I'm ready. Let's see if Master Ropley can help us recruit a potsworn. Wait, we have a potsworn ready. I know, it's going to be that guy that we talked to before. And he wanted a job, and we got him one. Sort of. Some burgers? Oh yeah. Are you doing the burgers on the barbecue? Love me some good burgers. Oh, so you're playing competitive Valorant? Nice, nice. I couldn't get into that game myself, but I know a lot of people really love it. It's quite an interesting take on the classic shooter like Counter-Strike, and not as extreme as like Overwatch. Because July 4th. Yeah, I can. I ended up like hating more than loving like shooters, especially competitive FPS. So I had to stop. It was affecting me too much. Like I wasn't like rage quitting, but like I would never feel good after gaming, so I was like, what's the point? So I got into more yes, like any kind of like skill based game. I guess Elden Ring would have taken its place, so at least then it's like, okay, I'm the only person that I can blame, or the controller, because sometimes the controller doesn't want to do the buttons you press, right? Got a big ego? Oh yeah. Wachumekimeki is a gathering spot for skilled artisans of all kinds. If we're to find a potsworn candidate, I can think of no better place to begin our search. I think Jean Fontaine is our candidates. Trial. So this is the Wachumekimeki that Llamahat was talking about. I yet to make it this far in my wanderings. Yeah, this city's huge. A new city. Erinville brought us here on our first tour of the city, but time did not permit a close look. I should like to observe these masters at work. Surely at least one person will answer Llamahat's call for a potsworn. Maybe Master Ropley can help us. I have a feeling who it is. Phew! The fresh harbor air is just what I needed. Hello, Ropley. Greetings, Third Promise. What brings you back to Wachumekimeki? You've not chipped your axe again, have you? Oh, Master Ropley. Actually, I have a favor to ask. So what do you think? Do you know of any craftsmen who might be interested? Filching my artisans for the moblins, eh? Well, seeing as it's the third promise making the request, I'm willing to look the other way if one of them decides to take you up on the offer. Only, I can't think of a suitable candidate off the top of my head. Who do I know with a mastery of goldsmithing that would also have no qualms about relocating to Earthenshire? The Eorzean goldsmith, what about him? What of the Elizan man who just started working here? Yeah, Eorzean goldsmith. That's what he was, I'm pretty sure. You mean Fonjontaine? He did say he was employed at some fancy jewelry store across the Salt. And considering the distance he's already come, I like to think he wouldn't mind moving a little up the river. That said, he's only just got himself a new job. Is it too soon to ask him to sign a pot pact? There's no harm in making the offer. Once he hears how well the Potsworn are treated, he may even jump at the chance. Either way, you won't find Fonjontaine at his workbench at this hour. He's finished for the day, probably enjoying a meal over at the Babycows. Then maybe we should go and talk to him. Just you and me, since he knows us. Wouldn't want him to feel intimidated by having to deal with a crowd of new faces. The two of us can handle this. Take a rest at the cabins if you like. Alright. See ya. Right, let's go and see a man about a pot. Thrown in Livery comes out in September. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, here, because we'll have the new raid. And we don't like start raiding in this game till about a month and a half after release, and which releases today technically. So we'll see if I have time. Playing 2 MMOs at the same time is very time consuming, as you probably know. It does look interesting though. I wonder if my computer is good enough to play it though. It's free too, yeah. Look, I'm not so sure about this. Orohi, you're here too. Third Promise said she wanted to chat. I've just finished eating, so shall we find a quiet spot outside? Sure. The last time we walked on this beach, you were in a miserable state. Yes, I was, wasn't I? A lost soul. Until the two of you came along and helped me rediscover my purpose. My new place of employment has been most welcoming, and for the first time in a long time, I feel content with my lot in life. That's wonderful. So what is it you wish to discuss? Well, it's hard to ask this right after you've settled in, but I'm looking for someone to become a Potsworn. Ah, I've heard my new colleagues mention the term. That's when an artisan signs a contract to work for the Moblins, isn't it? But you're not a Moblin. I'm not sure I understand. It's for a feat in the right of succession. I need to bring a new Potsworn to Earthenshire. So that is the way of it. We've barely met, and after pushing you to work at Wachumeki, I'm now demanding you throw that away and sign a pot pact instead. It's a selfish request, I know. I have something to tell you, Third Promise. The The other day, I completed the necessary procedures for immigration. I'm pleased to say I am now an official subject of Tuliolo. I've since endeavored to learn what I can of my new nation, beginning with the right of succession and its claimants, including you, of course. Now, you will recall it was my father's example which led me to pursue goldsmithing. He was at East End when Garlean forces laid siege to the settlement, and the ensuing chaos, he was slain. War took him from me in an instant. The man I loved and admired, I never wished to suffer such a loss again. And so, as much as I'm indebted to you for turning my life around, it is as a fellow peace-loving Tuliolan that I want you to win the throne. If I can help you achieve that by signing a pot pact, then I shall gladly do so. Don Fontaine, thank you. I shall return to Master Ropley and inform him of my decision. Allow me, I'm the reason you're leaving, so I should be the one to deliver the news. Perhaps you remember me, Rook Ivu, owner of the Shabalyev Te'e. I'd like a word, if you don't mind. You're Llamahat's ally from across the salt, right? And a hero of some renown, too. The gossips to be believed. Well, as it so happens, I could use some heroic help. It doesn't need to be right now, but could you come by when you have a spare moment? Sure. Much appreciated. I'll be waiting for you at my shop then. Ooh, role quests are opening up. Nice. I give some lo-fi vibes for real. Thanks. Also, the music of this city, I could chill here all day long. Like all the different jazz accompaniments for this city are just so good. I think they did a stellar job on the construction of the city too. It really, like a lot of the other cities are visually really pleasing and beautiful, but like this is probably the one that looks like the most actually lived in areas as far as some of the cities go. I mean, they did a good job with Old Charlian, but it wasn't really that big of a city, I would say. This place is massive. Just to show you the map. It's huge. You're gonna be making a really big guild? Awesome. Should be fun. I haven't been in like a big guild in like such a long time. I think the last big guild I was in like World of Warcraft days. And that was like kind of chaotic. It's because it's WoW though. Not because of the big guild. Oh, thanks, dude. I mean, I kind of keep it like sort of chill. I don't really push my stream all that much, so. But I mean, you know, the more growth, the better. And then I've been streaming a lot because of, well, Dawntrail just came out, so you know. Feels ungrateful to leave so soon after Master Ropley granted me employment, but sure he'll understand. I do this for the future of Tuliolo. I see you managed to find Fonfontaine. Master Ropley, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but Fonjontaine has agreed to sign the pot pact, yes? While it is a shame to lose a capable goldsmith, to have one of our own handpicked to serve the third promise is a great honor for the Wachu Meki Meki. I appreciate your understanding. Of course, if you happen to know other talented artisans, regardless of their expertise, I hope you send them my way. Could even be yourself if you're so inclined. Ooh, this probably opens up to crafting and stuff. I'll keep that in mind. Though my time here was brief, I will not forget your kindness, Master Ropley. I am blessed to have these workshops be my first home in Tuliolo. Come back to us if the Moblins cut you loose. You'll always have a job at Wachu Meki Meki. That's good to know. I expect you'll want to leave for Earthenshire as soon as possible. I'll go and pack my things. What became of Fonjontaine? Were you able to find him? We did, and he's agreed to become a potsworn. We'll leave when he's ready, but you still have a little time. Splendid, we shall meet you anon. I had plenty of reasons to win the contest, but now I have one more. Fonjontaine's putting his faith in me, and I won't let him down. Ooh, okay, custom deliveries. Awesome. Those are really helpful. You just stream because you enjoy it? That's awesome. I originally started to do it just to like promote my 3D hats and stuff like that and props. And then I kind of like doing it, but it's like I kind of had it as like a secondary promotional thing. You'll have seen the growth in the algorithm. Yeah, it's interesting to actually be able to see your analytics on YouTube, because I've streamed on Twitch before, and like you need to get to affiliate before they show you any analytics, so it's kind of hard to know, am I doing something right on there, other than just like the usual, like getting followers and all that. You like the hats? They're a lot of fun to make. I get a lot of joy out of them. So the entire process of making them and then like having them interactable and stuff like that is it's a challenge, but it's also like really fun. Father first. You like YouTube better? Yeah. I chose YouTube because I wanted to stream in ultra wide and at 60 FPS, but if I want to VTube and stream at 60 FPS, I need a better graphics card. I can only play the game at 30 FPS right now. Otherwise, the VTubing program doesn't work properly. So it's kind of interesting, but and the higher bitrate, because we were raiding, doing like ultimate raids. The higher bitrate allows you to like pause the video and go like frame by frame and actually look at things, whereas like the Twitch VODs are all like super pixelated. So it's good to have like to have the recorded videos as well. Right then, I have some things to take care of at the palace. While you can pass the time however you like, I'd suggest you head back to the cabins. After all, even heroes need to rest, and we still have a big journey ahead of us. Alright, well I'll be doing those later. Oh, I guess I could have teleported. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, it's interesting looking at the analytics because it like tells you what search results found your videos, and also it also tells you like what search results are trending as well, so you can like put both of them into your video tags, and it seems to work. I'm getting like a lot more views of my videos like later on, but it's nice to have a few people in chat come in and just say hello while I'm live as well. Welcome back, sir. You've had a Landsguard message. You're most anxiously waiting on your return. Oh, there he is. Rohi of the Third's Promise, Entourage. I've been all over the city looking for you. The Dawnservant summons you to the palace. You are to present yourself to the gate guard stationed outside Sunperch at your earliest convenience. Oh, and one more thing. You are not to mention this visit to Llamahat. Interesting. I wonder why. We will find out. Do you also do like the whole TikTok thing and all that? That is like uncharted waters for me. I have no idea how to navigate TikTok, so I just kind of avoid it. I heard it's really good for growth, but I don't know. Maybe I'm too old for that app. I've been using Threads a lot more, and it's been really friendly. Community on there. It's a bit slower growth, but I've seen some people get like quite successful quite quickly on there as well. But it seems a lot of like people's stream growth has been becoming from TikTok, which is really interesting because that used to not be a factor at all. Some on TikTok, but not much. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about it because, like, streaming is kind of second for me. It's more of like I'm making the 3D props and everything, and trying to promote those through the stream and social media. So it will be interesting waters to navigate, that's for sure. And then my 3D artist brain is just looking at this floor going, yep, they did a great job. Alright, let's do this. Dawnservant awaits you within. While I was not informed of the reason for your audience, in terms of attire, I would suggest full battle regalia. Oh! Okay. We're going to go into here as a fight. Okay, you know what? I haven't done Darknight on the stream yet, so let's do Darknight and see how we fare. Some of it has changed, but I'm getting used to it.
Forgive me this sudden summons. When I learned my daughter's champion was back in the city, I couldn't resist the opportunity. And they call me head of resolve for good reason. Old as I am, I have not lost a battle worthy of the name since the day I took the throne. And I've been craving a proper challenge. The Lance Wielder, Estinian, he fought well enough, but our bout was ended before a victor could be decided. Judging by the sailors' gossip, you are a warrior of renown in your homeland. Yet I wonder, with all your deeds done and victories won, are you warrior enough to stand against me?
Hell yeah. Why don't we find out?
A spirited answer. Why not indeed? The battle rages upon me. I'll stop short of killing you, of course. But expect no other mercies. Come! Ready your arms and show me the truth of the tales.
Alright, thanks Lou, thanks for stopping by. It was nice chatting with you again. Have fun on your stream.
Give it your all! I want to fight to remember! Let's test the waters. Didn't even blink. Have you ever fought a viper? Ha! Let's see how you handle this. The spearman did not lie. Very well then. resolve and reason kingdom. All right. Did you think you had my measure? Take this! This still holding up? We're far from finished! No more holding back! Stay alert! You fight well indeed! You are formidable! Now we'll see what you're truly made of!
Active time maneuver! An actual challenge this time!
That That will do. You've shown me more than enough.
Hell yeah, that was pretty fun.
I brought my full strength to bear against opponents before, but you are the first to withstand it. Even with my head of reason asleep, I never expected you to give me so much trouble. Estinian did not exaggerate. You are a force to be reckoned with.
Can't wait to fight him at his full force with both heads awake. That'll be a really fun fight if we do. Just with all the different magic his other head would cast.
Now, a confession. I said I crave a challenge, and that was no lie. But I had another reason for calling you here.
I suspected as much.
I had to judge for myself if you were fit to attend my beloved daughter.
Of course.
In some respects, she is much like me. Hot-headed and prone to rush into danger. But one with your adamant defense could shield Llamahat from those who would do her harm. Will you hear my question and answer me plainly? Address me not as the ruler of Tuliyola, but a concerned father.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Then tell me, given your journey together thus far, what is your impression of Llamahat?
She's a kind soul. And the courage and heart of a lion.
Whether it be as their promise or just a companion on the road. Speak your mind.
Oh man, I wish there was more options than that, but she is young but has potential. I mean, she's not ready to rule right now, but I think she will be, you know?
A tactful response, but agreed. She is not ready for the throne. Not yet. Llamahat thinks she understands our many peoples. Their histories, their cultures, their beliefs. But she knows only what she's seen in the capital. And it's not only her who concerns me. Even this early in the contest, you must have realized. As potential rulers, all four claimants are lacking.
Yeah.
This is why I elected to hold the right of succession. Not to choose a fitting candidate, but to cultivate one.
That makes sense.
And if no one has impressed me by the end of it, then to no one will I yield my throne.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a curveball, that's for sure. I
As a
understand why.
parent, I pray that my children rise to the occasion. with outsiders dragged into my game. I am also hopeful that the different perspectives you and your companions have to offer will inspire them to grow. I imagine you in particular have traveled many lands, know many peoples and cultures, loved them and being loved in turn. Guide Llamahat as you think best. Walk at her side and, when needed, push her to walk ahead.
I knew it. There I was, about to sit down for some of Namika's cooking, when I heard that Papa had sent for you. You were dueling behind my back, weren't you?
Maybe.
I see there is no point in denying it. You needn't worry, daughter. I took care not to inflict lasting injuries. You and your ally may return to the contest without disadvantage. No harm done.
I swear, just as I was learning newfound respect for my father. Let's take our leave of this battle-mad oaf before he calls on the rest of my entourage.
Watch over her, champion. Kona's recruits are no less sharp, as one might expect of Galloff's countrymen. They saw the flaws in our claimants from the outset. The other two, though, they dismiss comrades willing to point out their shortcomings, and no good can come of it.
That was pretty insightful. That was really nice. That fight was awesome though, holy crap. Let's go back to... If he had his way, Papa would keep dueling until the day he dies. Even now, I know only 3 people who didn't need to be carried away after their bouts. Zeral Ja, your lance-wielding friend Estinian, and yourself. You really do live up to your fearsome reputation. I'm curious though, did Papa want anything else of you? Nah. Just a sparring partner. Well, if that's all it was... I think she's a little bit suspicious, but also not too much. Though I haven't had one bite of Namika's food thanks to Papa's nonsense, so I'm going back to finish my plate before I head out. I've otherwise asked everyone to meet at the Forard cabins. Come and join us after you've had a moment to recover, eh? Continuing on with the Moblins, after a short little respite here in Tuliolol. We found our Potsworn and Now it's time to get ready to go back. I wonder if we're going by boat again. Hello. Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Is that it? You're all set to go? I left Eorzea prepared to travel in search of work, so I had few belongings to begin with. Bidding farewell to my fellow artisans took rather a lot of time, however. Again, I appreciate you making this commitment, vNyan. Shall we depart for Earthenshire then? A word before you go. Why is he so far away? Okay, Vu, what are you doing here? Ah, I spend my days correcting manners, and here I am perpetrating the grave offense of delaying the third promise's departure. Please take up your axe and rend my flesh onto taco meat. Must your demands be so gruesome? Besides, I told you that kind of thing doesn't bother me. Alright then, I won't let it bother me either. What was that all about? I'd come to the city to purchase supplies when I spotted your entourage getting ready to leave. You seek the City of Gold, if I'm not mistaken. Gasp. Right, it's the final step of the rite of succession. If you know anything about the subject, I'd love to hear it. Then allow me to be of service. As you know, legends of the Golden City have been passed down in Tyrol for 1,000 years. Yet when it comes to describing the place itself, the stories do not always agree. Some portray it as one might expect, a glittering metropolis of golden towers. Others suggest it is more unassuming and owes the name to a fabulous treasure hidden at its heart. Every telling, however, has a common thread. Those who go in search of the Golden City do not return. What? The lesson to be learned from this third promise is that to seek the legend is to court death. I must implore you to proceed with the utmost care. That is all I wish to say. I shall pray for your safe journey. Thank you, Wukivu. What are we to make of these cautionary tales? If every expedition has ended in tragedy, how then did the Dawnservant find the city and return without incident? It seems the legend originated with the Yakui. Speaking with them remains our strongest lead, I feel. A lead we shall follow in time, but first, let us see vNyan safely into the Moblin's care. Meanwhile,
finding a willing artisan was even easier than expected. Many indeed are eager to curry favor with the Resilient Sun, especially if it means sharing the promise of new territories.
Those who prove useful will have all the land they desire.
Such generous words, yet the manner in which he speaks them. If neither wealth nor territory are of value, wherefore does he seek to bring the world to heel?
Step aside.
Remind me. There was no rule against poaching craftsmen from other claimants. Was there?
Do not be foolish, Bakul Jaja.
Foolish would be carrying on with these dull feats when all I need to win are the keystones. And besides, it's long past time I humbled this arrogant one-head. The Dawnservant may have sired you against all odds, but there is nothing blessed about your birth. Only a two-head is fit to rule. Only we are worthy. Draw your weapon! Face me in battle, and learn your place.
A moment, first promise. Leave him alive, if you would. I foresee a use for this nuisance.
Too scared to make the first move? Then allow me! But he's just a runt.
My thanks for your restraint.
I can kill him whenever I please.
Your part in this is far from over.
We're back. We've brought with us a willing potsworn. This is Fonjontaine, a talented goldsmith who once worked at Eshtame's Aesthetics in Ulda. Wonderful, impressive. You are first to return, Third Promise. And with an artisan from across the salt, no less, we welcome you and your unique skills to Earthenshire. Helphand will show you to the workpots. This is it then. I look forward to hearing you proclaimed Dawnservant. Thank you, Fonjontaine. I'll be sure not to disappoint you. You have reached the requirements of the Feat of Pots. Ready Rock presents your keystone with joy smells and well-wishing. Blue. Kind of turquoise. That makes 3. Go, more Potsworn candidates. Come tell Redacted your tales. Another feat accomplished, another keystone acquired. Oh ho ho ho, you are doing well. I expected nothing less of Zeralja's esteemed siblings. Your cleverness in particular is most admirable, second promise. We must have you apply that Charlian knowledge you so cherish and arm Tyrell with weapons of Magitech design. In your roles as the new Dawnservant's chief advisor, of course. The tools of war hold no interest for me. I wish only to improve our nation through practical innovations. Foreign powers will think twice about testing our strength once Tuliolo is known for its advanced technology. Just as the Garlean Empire was deterred from invading Charlian. That may well be true, but how long will it take Tuliolo to progress to this advanced state? How many years? With a collective commitment to education and hard work, it should not take so very... Your way is too slow. Easier to expand our territory and swallow Charlian whole. Conquer other nations through force of arms, and you're looking at a future of uprisings and bloodshed. Yours wouldn't be the first failed empire. Then we keep fighting until the mounting costs convince them to lay down their weapons, until all have grown tired of loss. How would such an outcome bring anyone joy? What you propose is a mockery of peace. Oh, Redacted is reminded of days long ago. In the time before Tuliolo, there were no pot packs for the Potsworn. It was normal to grab snatch artisans and force them to work for mobbies. Until the day Gulul Jaja arrived, the families of the Grabsnatch pleaded with him, and so he came to Earthenshire. Mobbies are not a war-make people. We feared death had come for us, but Gulul Jaja just wanted to talk. Be at ease. We are here to trade words, not blows. The gold work crafted in this village is superb. One can tell at a glance the quality of materials used, the mastery of technique employed. Yet it does not stir the heart. A goblet shaped by bound hands and broken spirit is devoid of luster. Compare that now to the works of a joyful artisan. She pours her very soul into her creations, and they shine like the newly risen sun. Have you not seen this to be true? And so began the custom of good living. Happy Potsworn makes good works, and good works make mobbies happy. Galul Jaja words were wise. Joy smiles did indeed bring fine craft and much jingle shine. So the head of reason was behind the forging of pot packs. Yes, reason and cleverthink changed Mobby's way of life. Humph. The first promise tires of your talk of olden days. He would rather look to the future and the next feat. We should be getting on as well. The cool Jaja never did come back, did he? Oh, do you have a moment, Third Promise? Rock would repay you for hand helping with Kahi. He brings a tale of the Golden City. Ooh. Really? I'd love to hear it. The towers, the streets, all fashioned from gold. Everywhere you look, every splendor you can imagine. The young, the old, and everyone in between, they live in golden happiness, a city of eternal bliss, forever perched above the clouds. Everything fashioned from gold, eh? And just imagine everyone living in golden happiness. Now that's a city I'd like to visit. Excuse me, Rock. Where did you hear that particular tale? From our longtime Yukui friends. They live up in the mountains in Urkopacha. The giants again. Seems everything is pointing us their way. This feat and everything leading up to it has taught me much about the Moblin way of life. I'll be sad to leave Earthenshire and your joy smiles behind. It unsettles me that Zoral Ja is even a claimant in the first place. Surely his father cannot condone his violent ambitions. Head of Reason in Red Rock's story sounds so different from the Head of Resolve. They share the same body, yet their personalities are wholly distinct. The story is describing a place of boundless happiness, but are also rife with dire warnings of seekers who did not return. What are we to make of this? These tales raise many questions. Let us hope the giants have answers. Right, we should go and see the giants next. Agreed. Golden Mysteries, notwithstanding their village, is featured prominently in the saga, and is not to be ignored. Urkopacha Highlands should be easy enough to reach from here. If we leave Earthenshire from the west, there's a road which leads up into the mountains. Let's find that first. These guys look kind of cool. Got like trees on their backs. We're to meet with the Yakoya last. This road will take us through the mountains to the Urkopaka Highlands, an exhausting route, perhaps, but a straightforward one. One day we're sailing up rivers, and the next we're hiking up mountains. The Highlands are where the Lay of Proof took place, that being Gulul Jaja's encounter with the Yakui. Said something else. But this also the stage for the Lay of Ice, where heroes fought the monstrous Velagarmanda. I am most curious to know what the rite will demand of us there. Looks like the trail is going to get steep from here on in. I hope everyone is ready for some climbing. Third promise. I'm glad I caught you. Redacted asked me to bring you back to the village. She says there's something she forgot to give you. Huh? Something other than the keystone? Yes, an item of great importance, or so I was told. It shouldn't take long if you would please follow me. I wonder what this is all about. Well, no need for everyone to come. I'll be back in a little while. Well, one of us should go with you. He had rather interesting hair for hire, or should I say Tonawata? In any case, strange that I never noticed him while we were in Earthenshire. Knowing Llamahat, she was probably eating sweets behind our backs and forgot to pay the shopkeeper or something equally careless. That man seemed familiar somehow, but I just can't place him. I'm eager to continue to the Highlands and meet a Yakoi face to face. We've heard much about them, but I'm not entirely sure what to expect. Alright, I guess we'll wait. This is taking quite a while. Just keep waiting for now, I suppose. We'll keep waiting. Perhaps there were complications? Well, let us wait a little longer. This is getting a little ridiculous. Did she get lost on the way back to find us? But how? There's only one road. I wouldn't underestimate Llamahat's sense of direction or lack thereof. Fortunately, she has a link pearl. Let's see what's keeping her, shall we? She's not responding. Perhaps we should all return to Earthenshire. It was Redacted who had business with her, yes? I mean, music aside, that was all very suspicious, so... Pray not untoward has befallen the third promise. Something's not right. I can feel it. I thought Llamahat was just being her usual impulsive self, but now I'm not so certain. He doesn't seem to be here. Oh, back again so soon? We've come looking for Llamahat. Did you not send someone to fetch her? Redacted did not. Neither has she seen the third promise since you were last here. And who was that man who came for her? Oh, I thought you'd left already. Where was Llamahat? Is she not with you? You don't know where she is? How could you let this happen? That thou shouldest worry for thy sister is understandable, yet rather than assign blame, thine energies are better spent on locating her. I will help you search. This is not how I'd wish a fellow claimant to lose the contest, my sister least of all. In that case, dividing our forces will allow us to cover more ground. Rohi and I should work together at least, the better to facilitate communication between our groups. Then the rest of us will split up. Report in should you find anything. We'll be on our way as well. Right, keep in touch. Come, we should begin our search. This is most worrisome. If Redacted hears anything, she will let you know. Llamahat was returning to Earthenshire from the west, then she should have passed through here, except Redacted swears she didn't see her. In which case, 'tis entirely possible that Llamahat never made it back to the village at all. The only way to be certain is to ask the sentry station at the opposite entrance. If the guard did not see Llamahat, then we can be fairly sure she's not in Earthenshire. She's not one to pass without notice. The third promise? Mobby has been standing at this post with diligent eye watchings. He has seen no claimants pass this way. What of a Tonawata with brightly colored hair? Mobby knows something of this one. He hears tongue flaps about a Pelu peddler in many fires who was attacked by a crazy-haired bandit on the road. Bandit, you say? Thank you, you've been most helpful. My sister's clearly not here. Though I wish it were otherwise, we must consider the possibility that the Tonawatan messenger and the brigand described by the sentry are one and the same, and that Llamahat is very real danger. In very real danger. Come, let us hurry to many fires. I'd like a word with this peddler should they still be around. Are we going all the way? Okay, I'll just teleport. Many fires. Here, Rohi, this is the merchant who ran afoul of the bandits. There's something I could help you with? I'm told you were the victim of a bandit attack. Could you recount exactly what happened? My goodness, I thought I recognized you. I'll tell you everything I remember, second promise. It was that scoundrel Wakisa who ambushed me. You know the name of your attacker? There's no mistaking that hair. All my peddler friends have stories of that notorious bandit leader and his predations. Wakisa and his gang will stoop to any low for the sake of a few pel, and with no fresh quarry coming up the broken stairs, they've had to become more creative. Little wonder he went after Llamahat. He likely thinks to ransom her for a royal sum. I expect he'll soon make his demands, but I don't intend to wait. We'll find this villain first and deliver his deserved payment in person. What say you to a small deception? I will assume the role of a well-to-do merchant to lure Wakisa out of hiding. Then when he comes sniffing about, we catch the rat by the tail. Alright. An excellent plan, and I have just the right garments for your disguise. At a specially discounted price, of course. Brush with bandits hasn't dampened your mercantile spirit, I see. Very well, I accept your generous deal. Nice. Look how it matches his hair. Now we lay the bait. I will precede you into many fires to make my presence known. You follow on behind, boasting to those along the way how you paid me a hefty purse in exchange for a rare gemstone or some such. If Wakisa is as coin-hungry as they say, then a recently enriched peddler should be an irresistible mark. We let him strike, and then we spring our trap. I pray that your scheme is successful. Time to play our parts. There, that Shibrael fellow. Share with him how happy your imaginary deal with me has made you. Once you've put on an appropriate display, we can continue to our next performance. Oh, I got to do it to this guy here. A rare gemstone from that Hetsaro merchant, you say? I envy the profit he must have made from such a sale. Since the stairs were destroyed, I've not been able to peddle goods at my usual haunts. A good start, but I would make certain Wakisa is aware of me. Let's continue. That moblin over there looks amenable to conversation. The stage is yours. Oh, the Hetsaro sold you a sparkle stone for your collection? Well, that explains your giant joy smiles. Mobby is happy for your happiness. Mobby is also jealous of the merchant and all the jingle shiny he must have made. That should be enough, but perhaps one last act to drive it home. You see that cheerful Pelu? Tell him the tale of your precious gemstone, and then we'll be done with this part of the charade. A passing peddler had the very gemstone you sought for your collection. This is a stroke of luck. And I'll wager the merchant was just as pleased to fill his pockets with your grateful coin, eh? While I'm inspired to go and earn some pel on my own, who knows? Maybe opportunity will find me, even as it found you. My most valued customer, the profit from that single purchase of yours should see me through weeks of idle leisure. Traveling with such a fat purse and no sellswords is tempting fate, so I shall make Earthenshire my last stop and then return forthwith to Leolo. This guy's face. You see? The rat has come for a nibble. Mm-hmm. You played your part to perfection, Rohi, a man of many talents, just as Thancred and Urianger described. Now let us lure Wakisa out and spring our trap. Let's execute the final stage of the plan. I will set out towards Earthenshire alone and unarmed. You the better to sell the act of a defenseless merchant. Assuming Wakisa is watching, he will likely wait for some quiet stretch of the road before accosting me. I'll be relying on you to follow closely behind, remaining hidden until the time comes to spring the trap on our bandit king. Just remember, we need him alive. Wakisa will tell us that he's done with Llamahat. Alright, here it is behind the tree. Oh. I hear business has been good to you, Master Merchant. How about you share some of the profits? And by some, I mean every coin you have. You're the Gemstone collector. Oh, I see what this is. We've been tricked. Spit in your eye, man. Kill these Vidral. Well, I got disconnected. Well, I don't think we'll be able to get back in on Cactar. I might be able to server transfer out to Dynamis. I heard the queue times are almost instant there. Yeah, okay. That's like an hour wait. So, let's see if we can data center travel, because I don't need my retainers right now. Let's just choose the first one. Proceed. Yeah, our Aether is super full, so... It's not as bad as Saturday and Sunday. It was like a 4,000 queue, sometimes 5,000 or more, unless you log in earlier. I won't be able to transfer back until like 1 AM my time, so I'll be stuck here. Let's see here. Look at that, 4 people. Alright, it worked. Well, it's good to know for next time in case something happens, because dang. At least I can still continue with MSQ this way, though. I won't be able to do my other stuff, but that's okay. That can wait. I don't know at what point it got disconnected, so... It looks like it was during the cutscene. It looked like it just blipped, so at least on YouTube Studio. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure that things are connected. Yeah. Working now. Alright. Well, I won't need to revoice the same thing. Well, you know what, I'll do it just in case. I don't know at what point during this cutscene it got cut out. I hear business has been good to you, Master Merchant. How about you share some of your profits? And by some, I mean every coin you have. You're that gemstone collector. Oh, I see what this is. We've been tricked. But in your eye, men kill these Vidral. Slippery vermin. We'll have to interrogate his underlings instead. If you would be so kind, Rohi, pray leave them capable of speech. I was hoping to talk with your boss, but I suppose you three will have to do. Wait, that's the second promise. What do you want with us? Think I'm scared of a fancy title? I'll take your royal ears as a trophy as soon as I get free of these ropes. I know your gang is behind my sister's abduction. Tell me where she is. Eat pock of shit, salt lover. You'll get no answers from us. That's right, we don't serve you. Do not play games with me. Where is Llamahat? I am fast losing patience. Talk now or die. The choice is yours. We were hired to nab the third promise, that's all. We don't know where they took her. Hired? By whom? We weren't told that either. Only Wakisa knows. He's the only one who took the job. Well, it seems we needed their leader after all. Once I've arranged for the Landsguard to take custody of these criminals, I'll call on Thancred and his tracking skills, but perhaps you could pursue Wakisa in the meantime. Bandit was running in an easterly direction. Should you locate him, I suggest you shadow him rather than force a confrontation. He might lead us to where Llamahat is being held. Alright. Go after Wakisa. I'll watch these miscreants until they can be taken into Landsguard custody. Found him. All right. There he is. I'll have to get that later. Nice. That's a new following mechanic they added in. Finally, my money. Give it to me now. The Landsguard may be hunting us already. Calm yourself. We had our own troubles finding a suitable hideaway. Right. We're finished. Take your prize and leave me out of the rest. Such hostility. You were hurting for coin, and I offered you gainful employment out of the kindness of my heart. Kindness? You brought a blackened tempest upon us. One look and I could tell that man was a killer, a butcher, a salted devil in the flesh. Oh, spare me your fearful bleeding. Go on, scamper. Away now before the scary mercenary comes to claim your head. Kono told me the news. You found the abductor then? What's the situation? And you think the bandits were hired by this Hubigo? Alright, new strategy. Forget Wakiza and stay on the Mawulja tail. We don't want to endanger the third promise, so keep your distance until we're certain they have her. I'll catch up to you as soon as I'm able. Understood. Alright, so we gotta do the same thing with this guy. Oh, our boat's left.
Better late than never. That Mamulja. He's the one who kidnapped Llamahat. So we're still unsure. If we can follow him a bit longer, confirm his connection to the abductors. That will complicate matters.
Confound it!
If I set out now, I can trail them along the riverbank.
Do it!
Even if it costs you the contest.
What worth is the throne if I lose my sister to win it?
Very well then. I'll send word when I locate her. Till then, I suggest you save your strength. A rescue attempt could turn ugly.
That Hubigo just now. I swear I've seen him with Bakul Jaja. Knowing the way that monster works, he probably hired bandits to kidnap her so he could steal her keystones. But even alone, my sister is more than a match for a gang of untrained ruffians. She must have been ambushed or deceived. Gah! I should have been there! If those bastards have hurt her!
Be patient. Trust in Thancred.
I do trust him, but... Forgive me. Snapping at you won't get my sister back. I'm afraid I've always been like this when it comes to Lamachi. The thought of her being in danger sends me into a panic. But isn't that how families should be? These days, Turali Mikote live however they please. But the clan into which I was born kept to the nomadic traditions of our ancestors. They herded their own neck across the plains, always moving with the seasons. During one such migration, my birth parents left me behind. A child. All alone. Without a single word of explanation. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliyolal's market. And that is where the Dawnservant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. So, as you might now understand, I will stop at nothing to rescue her. While we await word from Thancred, I suggest we prepare ourselves to travel downriver.
You have a boat, yes? Why release the Paneti if not to delay pursuit? If we were unsure of their guilt before, then this surely proves it. Before we act, however, let us regroup with your comrades. Would you mind making the call?
Understood. We'll meet you at many fires.
May have put rescuing Navati ahead of my own progress, but do not take that to mean I've given up on the contest. You understand how important she is to me, yet regardless of how close we were, I would have made this same choice. After all, I am incapable of saving my sister while also winning the throne. Then I am not fit to inherit our father's heavy mantle. We need to gather our forces. Firstly, allow me to brief everyone on our present situation. Thus, at the very least, we believe this Hubiko knows where Llamahat has been taken. Thancred is shadowing their boat even as we speak, and I should like to join him with all haste. Unfortunately, our quarry had the foresight to release your Punity from its harness, leaving us without a means to give pursuit. Aaronville, as an expert on wildlife, what are our chances of recapturing the beast? With the right mix of feed, it can be done. I should like an extra hand to help scatter it about, however. Would you accompany him? Sure. Meanwhile, the rest of us should work on getting the harness repaired. It appears to have been damaged with the Punity that was let loose. With all the peddlers here in camp, we should have little trouble purchasing replacement materials. As for any necessary metalwork, Earthenshire's artisans are but a short walk away. Then let us divide the tasks and have at it. There was an unusually aggressive herd of wild Unutis downriver, so our girl will have fled in the opposite direction. Come, we'll try the waters upriver. Pancakes again. Assuming our Punity has come this way, she'll be hiding in the depths of Marsh Vigika. We'll need to lure her back to the shallows with the promise of food. Wild Punities eat mainly aquatic grasses and plants, but the tame ones are often fed vegetable scraps. Knowing this, I added leftovers to the feed I prepared. This should help the mixture stand out against the marsh's natural scents. Ligaka is crawling with predators, however, so I'll leave it to you to scatter feed deeper in. I'll be waiting for you near the shallows with the rest of our Punity's enticing feast. Okay, I'm gonna go get that lookout point, that vista, right here. Oh. Go, I can type. All set? I've just finished laying out the last of the bait. Step back out of sight and leave the rest to me. Here she is. Shh, there's nothing to be afraid of. We just need your help one last time. You're hungry, I wager. Come on, come with me. Yes, there's a good girl. We'll be fine here, I think. I'll give her a few more treats, then lead her over to the boat. You can let Kona know we have our Punity back. Miracle has the Panuti in hand then? Good. I expected nothing less from a certified cleaner. As for the harness, we were able to purchase all the parts we need. The Levayo twins are over in Earthenshire right now, having the Potsworn make the repairs. I'm told it shouldn't take long. We'll be ready to embark on our rescue mission as soon as we hear from Thancred. Thancred must know something by now. Found her? Understood. Thank you. I had but to invoke his name. Thancred followed the Hubigo's boat to its destination and confirmed that they are indeed holding my sister captive. They, of course, being the cruel Jaja and his minions. I swear I will make them regret this. Llamahat is in Rich Leaf Tunnels. The moment the harness is repaired, we strap it to the Punuti and make our way back down to Hukatumu.
Thangred.
The third promise is up ahead. She's unharmed, but we best not dally.
I spit on these pathetic feats. Far more satisfying to claim the baubles by force.
Give it back! Fosunten poured his everything into that stone. You've no right to touch it!
Oh, was that the name of your artisan? How could you allow something so precious to be stolen?
You thieving cheat! You're no true claimant!
What does that make the foolish kitty who fell into my trap? If pitiful roars were all it took to claim the throne, you'd be first in line.
Now, brother. You shouldn't tease her. Look, the poor thing's on the verge of tears. Meow. Someone save me. Who did that?
His scales are as thick as his skulls.
Coward! You dare ambush me?
'Tis the blessed sibling's favorite tactic.
That useless Buddha was sycophant. He was supposed to keep the lackeys running in circles.
Oh, you must tell me all about that.
Careful now. You wouldn't want to hit her hostage.
That one's not to be underestimated.
Ha! They can do nothing while we have.
Impeccable timing.
Amachi, are you all right?
Aye, thanks to you.
These weaklings think they can defy us? We'll slaughter the lot of them!
Patience, brother. The keystone is ours. There is no need to fight this day. And Zoralja has left us hurting.
No! I won't stop until I've got these maggots and feed them their entrails! If we fall here, we fail our siblings for nothing. Is that what you want? No, brother. Break off! We retreat!
Wait! Damn you, Bakul Jaja!
Do we give chase?
We head back. Hamachi is safe. And that is what matters.
I am glad to see one harmed, Llamahat. Thanks again for coming to my rescue, Kona. And all of you, too. Fool Jaja must be desperate indeed to resort to such aggressive tactics. I shouldn't have been so careless. I underestimated him and it cost me a keystone. Fonjontaine upended his life so that I could accomplish the Moblin's feat. He believed in me, believed in my cause, and I've let him down. Contest isn't over yet. Right, it's not over till it's over. The next time I meet that brute, I'll knock him straight on his scaly behind and take back my keystone. Speaking of vengeance, didn't Bakul Jaja curse some useless Bunawa sycophant when he caught sight of us? A reference to Surreal Ja, I would assume. He is devoted to our brother, and is the only Bunawa I know of participating in the rite of succession. If Zeral Ja was somehow involved in this, I will never forgive him for putting our sister in danger. He will have forfeited his right to be called brother. Bakul Jaja should face punishment, of course, but so must the bandits who had the temerity to abduct Llamahat. I shall request the father send a contingent of Landsguard to enforce the law in this region. I agree that measures need to be taken to keep travelers safe, but I wonder what pushed these people towards a life of banditry in the first place. If we dig deeper, we might find a way to improve things for everyone. This is something to think about. For now, however, the rite continues. I thank you all for your help. We should be moving on as well. Are you feeling fit to travel, Llamahat? I bet I am. Soralja's gained a good head start, and it's time we clawed back some lost ground. Though they share a single body, it's obvious Bakul Jaja has two minds when you see one head calming the other head down. His personalities are as distinct as two individuals could be. We'll need to take that keystone back from Bakul Jaja before we arrive at the City of Gold. He will not relinquish it without a fight, though. The Wuk Llamahat once knew would have been inconsolable at the loss of a keystone. This journey and your companionship is doing her a world of good. Kona is the picture of composure and rationality, except when it comes to matters concerning Wuk Llamahat's safety. Far be it from me to fault a brother for being protective, but still. I really am sorry this happened. From now on, I won't let my guard down around suspicious strangers. Again, I do appreciate you all coming to save me. Level up. I'll switch to... Road beckons, friends. Let's be on our way to the Yokui. Then it's back to where the path through the mountains begins. You remember the spot where you're tricked into walking off with the Wakisi? Kisa? Just going to rub my face in it like that, eh? Wonder if he's raising my hackles on purpose though. You know, trying to keep my anger directed at him instead of myself. Either way, we can't be standing around here all day. We have a lot of lost time to make up for. Right. Those bandits must have been watching us from the moment we stepped off the riverboat. I knew I felt eyes on us. Ehrenville said this pass will take us all the way to Urkopacha Highlands, didn't he? The Ral job will not have been wasting time while we were busy tussling with Bakul Jaja. We need to hurry. Ehrenville. I couldn't leave without letting Red Rock know what happened, so I stopped in Earthenshire to say a few words before moving on. And now Ehrenville is nowhere to be seen. Couldn't he wait a few more moments? So much for giving him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, let's catch up. I want to give that smug Gleaner a piece of my mind. I worried Wuk Llamahat would recognize over the loss of her keystone, but it seems I had nothing to be concerned about. Onwards and upwards, then. Is. We have to be quite high up by now, which makes me wonder how much higher the summit of Orkozormor must be. Oh yeah, it's way up there. Seems those buildings up ahead are the village we're headed for. The Yokoi have a deep connection to the legend of the Golden City. This visit will allow us to ask them about it directly. Pant, I've never climbed so high before. I'll tell Aaronville off once I catch my breath. As I'm sure you've noticed, the air grows thin at this elevation. Take it slow until your body adjusts. Deep breaths. Drink plenty of water. A few more steps and we'll be in Warlord's Echo. Stay hydrated, drink some water. Seeing what kind of details we can discern from... Okay, that's what maybe a giant looks like. I don't know if there's a pattern on there or not, but... Oh, this guy's the giants. These guys in the trailer. Okay. Thank the gods, they have an aetheryte. I don't fancy the idea of trudging up that mountain trail a second time. Chilly air, stout stone construction. If I squint a bit, I might think I was in Ishgard for a moment. Everything here is giant size, but that structure in the back is on a different scale altogether. A temple of some kind, mayhap? I think he's talking about this one? I knew the path led here, but I've never set foot in this village myself. Oh. Very like simple stone design compared to all the other buildings the giants have built. Whew. I think I'm getting used to the air up here. So this is the place from the Lay of Proof, where Papa met with the Yokoi. And that must be them. I don't think I've ever actually seen one outside of the picture. So it is for most Turali, the giants rarely visit the lowlands. Here in their mountain fastness, they tend to the solemn duty they pledge to undertake in their pact with the Dawnservant. To watch over the Tural Vidral Veligar Manda and maintain its prison within their temple. Ah yes, Llamahat told us about the Tural Vidral, creatures that live for far longer than normal and awaken to strange powers. Indeed, yet even among these anomalies, the Veligar is unrivaled in strength. It has endured for centuries, bringing catastrophe each time it emerges from its lair. As you learned in the Lay of Ice, it was Gulul Jaja who at last managed to imprison the beast, and it has lain dormant in the temple ever since. It said the building still bears a gaping hole in its ceiling from when Veligar was lured inside by Gulul Jaja's final ploy. I like to see the strongest of all Tural Vidral. I wonder what it was like to fight it. Orlar's Echo was where both the Lay of Proof and the Lay of Ice took place. Does this not suggest we'll be facing 2 feats this time? The question we can ask the Elector once we find him, or maybe we should flush out Bakul Jaja first so I can beat my keystone out of him. Let's get the Elector first. I suppose we do still have 4 keystones to earn, and no matter what we do, the contest will pit us against him sooner or later. Alright, let's seek out the Elector. Then I suggest we pay a visit to Karyorzar the Gracious. Or so their temple is called. The Moblins told me that High Luminary Gerfurler is to be found there. If we are to ask someone for information, then he seems a wise choice. The temple guards have been watching us most intently. One does not stroll freely into Velagarmonda's prison, it seems. While this is certainly an impressive building, it doesn't seem the sort of structure one would build to hold a Tyrell Vidrol. Is it taboo to request entrance to the temple, you think? We'll need permission to enter the temple, but I expect it won't be a problem for the third promise. Let's see if I can convince the guards to let us through. I am Llamahat, third promise of Tuliolo, and I seek your elector for the right of succession. May I speak with Gerfurler? High Luminary has granted admittance to the claimants. You may enter. Huh, that was easier than expected. In we go then. Odds, is that? Hi, Ligarmonda. Welcome. High Luminary Gerfurler? He is not here at present. I am Luminary Zermerwer. This is the Sky Ruin, Velagarmonda. It is, the Tyrell Vidrol whose name has evoked terror since time immemorial. Even my people, once conquerors of all beneath the sun, were as brittle leaves before Velagarmonda's tempestuous power. When the Sky Ruin descended upon Urkopacha 8 decades ago, the casualties were staggering. Had Gulul Jaja and his companions not intervened, we would have been slaughtered to the last. Their titanic battle with Velagarmonda raged for 10 days and 10 nights. As their foe fought on, tireless and relentless, our heroes were pushed beyond the limits of their endurance. Thus did the Head of Reason concoct a desperate plan. Gulul Jaja tricked the Sky Ruin into losing control of its own ice magics, causing the unwitting Tyrell Vidrol to encase itself in frozen ether. And it's been like this ever since? Nice work, Papa. But what happens if the ice ever melts? That same question looms large in our minds. for the magics sustaining this prison grow weaker with each passing year. Velagarmonda commands powers of fire and lightning and ice. Some believe that the violence of the recent storm was the result of those energies slipping free. That raging tempest from Velagarmonda? Setting future worries aside, you are come to attempt the feat of proof, yes? The High Luminary, chosen Elector of the Dawnservant, has left me with instructions for all aspiring claimants. You are to scour our forbidding mountains and find the waiting Gurfurlur. That is to be your challenge. Oh, so the search itself is the feat. You've already spoken with my brothers, I take it. I have. Their expeditions are underway. Then we'd better pick up the pace. Aye, but we'll need a direction to search in first. Let's see what hints we can gather from the villagers. Helphand, as large as the Yakui are seeking blindly for one in the expanse of these mountains would be an exercise of utility. We need more information. Tyrol Vidral sound an awful lot like the auspices of the Far East. Are they the same thing under a different name, do you think? I sense the recent expulsion of a great deal of aether from Velagarmonda's prison. The ice will hold for but a few years more, I fear. So crazy how Kryl can, discern that. I've encountered many extraordinary creatures in Eorzea and elsewhere, but long has it been since I've felt such an overwhelming presence, like 1,000 dagger points prickling my skin. Alright, so this is the 93 quests. So I think I'll end the stream here. I know I have I got Summoner to 93, so I could continue. But I'm gonna leave the 93 quests for its own stream. And hopefully I don't get disconnected again, because that kind of sucked. Yeah. So let's take a look at everything we found out. Basically, we figured out that the Moblins, they want to keep the peace as well. So that's good to know that they're mostly on Llamahat's and Kona's side of things. We found that all of the 4 promises each have a weakness or weaknesses. Galul Jaja's weakness is basically everything but his strength. He's weak at getting people to follow him. He's weak at being a leader. He's weak at seeing reason when he needs to. I can go on. Even though he's got 2 heads and one of them is the rhyme of reason, they don't really work as far as what a Dawnservant would be. And the first promise, I forgot his name, Zerulja, I think. He's also basically just wants to be a tyrant, and he doesn't care about the world or its inhabitants. He just wants to rule over everything. He doesn't care how he gets there. He doesn't care how he accomplishes it. He doesn't care what he gives away in the challenge of taking it. And he just doesn't... He only wants to rule over everything through war, because that's all he knows. Obviously, he's very powerful, though. He's very strong. He, like, almost one-shot the little Jaja, which was hilarious. But also, you know, kind of scary. Kona obviously has some issues with temper. You know, he's been hiding his cool-headedness this whole time. He seems to have a quick temper and gets annoyed easily, and always thinks that he should just rely on the technology of Charlian, which could be very beneficial in a lot of cases, but also he's forgetting that he's exchanging the convenience of technology for people's cultures. And there is a more delicate way of going about that. And so far, he hasn't really shown that he is growing in that aspect. He seems to just think that Charlian technology is the only way, and he'll also do anything for his sister. And Llamahat is still Llamahat. I mean, she obviously has her weaknesses, like strength is not necessarily her strong suit, but she's very emotionally intelligent. She's dim-witted in the sense of she's trusting people too much, and she should definitely reconsider immediately trusting strangers so often. And also to just think that she should just do things on her own just because she needs to prove herself. Like, she doesn't need to prove herself all the time. Like, it's okay to lean on your friends and allies, comrades, all that. So it will be interesting to see how her journey kind of continues to unfold. And then, of course, we had that fight with the cutscene against the current Dawnservant, and that was awesome. And obviously, he has his concerns about every single one of them. They are all valid concerns. And the big twist was how he said, if none of them prove to be worthy, he won't give up his seat just yet. Which I can see... two of the 4 contestants immediately challenging him after that. So it'll be interesting to see how the 4 contestants play out further on now. And then we're in a new zone. So we're currently in the mountain part of Urkopacha. So we were down below, sort of in the lower mountain where all the alpacas were and the Pelu people were. And now we're in the upper zone portion of it, which is way high up in altitude. And this is where the giant people live, the Yakui. I think I'm saying that correctly. I'm not too sure. I haven't heard it being pronounced yet in game, so we'll see if they finally do. And yeah, so we're gonna continue with that in the next stream. So thank you everyone who came by and said hello. Thanks to everyone watching this later. Don't forget to stay hydrated, drink some water. Be kind to someone today, even if it's yourself, you know. And happy Dawntrail. It's the official release today. And I'll be streaming this tomorrow again in the evening. I'll try to make sure I'm logged in a bit earlier so we can start earlier, and we'll be doing the level 93 MSQ. Alright, I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.